The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. He always seems to be somewhere near the upper left. It's Professor James Tubbs.
Oh, yeah, that's me, upper left.
How's it going, Jim? It was good to see you the other day for free ice cream.
Yes, it was in Meet the New President. And it was it's actually good to be back in the classroom.
Absolutely.
Although the first day of classes when you're going over the syllabus for so much of the time is kind of boring, but other than that, it was good.
What are you laying down this term for teaching?
Oh, I've got 2 sections of healthcare ethics like I did last fall.
Okay, great. Yeah. I probably advised a number of students into those sections, but let's be serious, it was last March, so my brain is kind of
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. But then no, that's really good to hear. It was actually
as of a week ago, I had a student who was in the same section last fall, and actually I think made a very good grade in the class, so I couldn't figure out why he was in it again. And when I contacted him, he couldn't either. So now that's fixed.
The repeat offender.
I love it. I love those little nuggets of advising knowledge that just float over us sometimes. Let's see, going around the horn here, we have Professor Beth Oljar. And I gotta be honest, Beth, when you stopped by the other day and dropped off that bag when we were doing our little chem club meeting, there were people who had you for class. I want to let you know, in that room, and they were like, "Who was that, Prof. Mio?" I'm like, "That's Professor Oljar." And they're like, "Oh wow, her haircut looks great." Like I think it was the hair, I think it was the hair.
That is actually totally cool because I didn't realize that there were former students of mine in the room. So I don't have to feel bad about not recognizing them, but I figured it was Chem Club.
She has bigger hair now.
Less of it, but yeah, I cut it off. Yeah.
That's right.
And I have to change the Bitmoji avatar now to make the hair more gray.
Oh my gosh, that's such a big deal. Grumbling possibly about gray hair, center square on this version of Hollywood Squares is Professor Dave Chow.
Oh, pleasure to be here, as always.
He doesn't have any gray hair. What?
Nothing yet.
I was going to make a Charles Nelson Riley joke, but I didn't know how much of our listenership would get it. So
probably a few.
Yeah. Because we're all as old as dirt, except for Erin. Erin is not, obviously, but the rest of us are.
Everything going well in renovation land, Dave?
I never knew demolition was as loud as construction at times. That's all. I can't tell. Sure. I'm just kind of trapped inside the house as they bang away at it. And I come on out when it's safe.
If you ever watch the TV show Fixer Upper, demo day is the favorite day.
Oh,
right. That's right.
Yeah, but it's more like demo week though at times. So
I would just say that siding is the real deal. Everybody says, "Oh, if you're redoing your bathroom or your kitchen, you got to live in that house. It's tough." But I'm like, but there's about 3 or 4 days when they're putting new siding up where it is near constant. Like there's a giant human-sized woodpecker on your house all the time.
My God, I'm going through Tylenol like Pez right about now. So I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh. Hey, have any of you gotten into watching Bargain Block on HGTV? That is a great show about 2 guys who are buying up houses mostly from the Detroit Land Bank.
I heard about
fixing
that.
them up and selling them inexpensively to first-time buyers. And the first season last year, it was all in a neighborhood near our campus. And when they would pan back with the drone that they were using, you could see the bell tower.
Nice.
It was really neat.
Nice.
So there are a lot of in that neighborhood.
Very
Up to
cool.
8 Mile. There are several houses that they've redone.
Nice.
Have to check it out. Continuing around the horn, the way that I see the panels, it's Professor Dan Maggio.
Hey, Matt. How
What's
are you?
going on, Dan?
Celebrating September is here,
Yes, it's
so
here.
I'm happy for that. And I have a funny woodpecker story.
Okay.
So, we have a woodpecker, could be a family, I don't know. They peck on the metal vents on the house, my neighbor's house.
Yes.
So that's loud. But could it be the same woodpecker? But this year decided to put many huge holes, divots in the wood around the address sign on her house. So she's got like foil taped everywhere to keep the woodpeckers away. I don't know why they go after the metal vents though. It's funny,
That's so
but
weird.
I'm not sure why they don't understand that this is not wood.
Is
Well,
this
they're
evolution?
birds. I mean, brains are like that, right? So
They like to fly into glass, thinking
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
sky.
but-
We have quite a
or-
few around here.
Or Dan, are you witnessing evolution happening here? Is this the next wave of birds? I mean, is it metal peckers now from here on out, or?
I don't know. They're not going to find any bugs or larvae hidden in
Well,
metal, but
we'll see.
that's my funny woodpecker story.
I
Since
like
you brought
it.
them up,
I know it's my fault. It really is my fault. So, folks, we're very glad to have a guest panelist who is, as far as I'm concerned, knocking on the door of just immediately becoming a regular panelist on the show from our Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning and an adjunct professor of English. It's Professor Erin Bell.
Thanks. I don't have any really great woodpecker stories, but I do enjoy bird watching. So
Excellent.
really happy to be here.
Excellent.
I like how this was posed to me. I think I have the right quotient of nerdiness and maybe random trivia facts, but also probably not at all. So I'm looking forward to maybe just, I don't know, hanging out and meeting all these awesome peeps at Detroit Mercy. I started in about January, so I'm still learning the lore. So I'm going to really
Excellent.
up some good stories here, I think.
actually,
Our lore.
no knowledge is required for
Yep.
being on the show. It's really just about cracking each other up.
And,
Yep.
and mind you, our degrees don't mean anything here. So
That's true.
yeah, last time I checked, Jim still does not have that degree from any of the ocean liners yet. So,
DeVry.
yeah,
Oh,
Trump University.
oh,
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
no.
And this is the obligatory transition to our opening line here because it's been a while since we've had a set of questions based on woodpeckers, but I bet some of our listeners are going to send us some.
Oh God, yes.
Please don't. Please
No,
don't.
no.
here for it.
Oh,
Except Jim went to the University of Virginia, and every time I think about it, I think of the line in Silence of the Lambs. I just can't help it when she says, "I went to UVA. It's not a charm school."
Well,
oh,
folks, I think you know how the game is played. This is a program where you can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us the questions in a number of ways. Email us at atp@udmercy.edu, but please do so purposefully. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by speaking out loud and asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. All right, we've got an awesome set of questions sent from longtime question center and frequent question center. Dear Matt and panel, as you and the rest of the professors are in the midst of wrapping up hopefully another successful academic year, these were sent in April, the Burroughs family have compiled 20 questions all over the map for your fine show. They've been culled from a long list of interesting facts and topics that we have on the family computer. We've tried to vary the subjects and hope they spur the banter the professors are famous for. Are we famous for that? Wow, that's pretty cool.
I'm
We
wondering
love
about the family
spontaneity.
computer at this point.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm worried about culling.
We love the spontaneity and quick wit, and we can attest the show definitely not being rehearsed in any way, shape, or form. If only they knew. If only. Please enjoy, as always, warmest greetings from Valencia, California. Frank
We're-
Burke and
Frank.
family.
Thank you. Yeah, where's my stunt
Excellent.
double? I need my
This is-
understudy.
These are the best question sets, Aaron, because if we go all over the map, it's bound to make brain cells collide. That's for dang sure.
Do I get to add banter to my CV after this then?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
You should put banter like black belt, 6 Sigma, 9 Sigma, whatever
Yeah.
it's going to be after that. Okay, here we go. What retailer is the exclusive carrier to these brands? St. John's Bay, Marathon Hats,
JCPenney.
Ryegrass. It is.
JCPenney,
It's pennies. Oh my
JCPenney.
gosh. You knew that in like a second, Beth.
St. John's Bay.
St.
was
John's
the-
Bay gave
yeah,
it away. Yep.
Yeah.
On the original Twilight Zone TV show, which 2 actors starred the most times in different roles? 2 basically classic early TV era actors.
William
Burgess?
Shatner.
I was gonna say Shatner. I
Shatner's a
Burgess?
good guess,
No,
but
no.
Great minds think alike,
Burgess
Yeah.
Meredith?
Burgess
Oh,
Meredith is one of
wow.
them. Yes.
but
Burgess
apparently
Meredith.
we're wrong.
Unfortunately, William Shatner is not on the list.
Let's see who
Let's
else.
see. I'm trying to
And
think.
it's not Rod Serling, right? We're
It
not
is
talking
not.
about a host. of
Vincent
the show.
Price.
Not Vincent Price. Initials JK.
Jim. Jack.
Jim
John.
Kirk. No,
Oh.
partial credit. No.
Uh,
It says the other person was Jack Klugman. Jack
Oh,
Klugman.
okay. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It just
That
should
would
have said Quincy
I'm
Or
sorry.
Oscar Madison.
or
I mean,
Oscar
Yeah,
Madison.
Oscar Madison.
Yeah. Odd couple.
Yeah.
Which member of the band The Monkees is the oldest?
well, there's only one
Mickey
around.
Dolenz,
so-
because he's the only one still alive.
Oh, is that a trick question?
yeah.
What I'm going to do is do what I usually do, Erin, and say partial credit. It's not what it says here.
Michael Naismith.
When they were
Third
born,
work.
which member was the oldest when they all were alive?
I think Davy
Oh.
Jones was the youngest, so we
Yeah.
can. All,
Yeah,
you know,
Davy's the youngest.
Michael
Um,
Naismith. My guess is Naismith.
Nope, it's Peter Tork was the oldest by a few
Oh.
months. Yeah. Mhm.
Who's
he
the
just had that
youngest?
boyish charm about him. That's all.
Cute.
For the record, okay, Davy Jones is the youngest, but it's like 2.5 years. It's not like it's like
Oh.
10 years. Right?
Oh, he was so cute.
We'll take your word for it, Beth.
Yeah.
Really? Nobody else thinks the young
I
Davy
think he was
Jones was
adorable.
cute?
He
Yeah.
was sort of
Why not?
boyish looking. Yeah.
Who was
You
the
know,
one on the
Fifty
Brady
Video
Bunch that did the Brady Bunch episode?
Yes.
I believe
Davy
it's-
Jones.
Marsha
That was
had a
Davy.
crush on him. Yeah.
That was
him.
Davy
That was
Jones.
Davy Jones.
Marsha wanted him to go to the prom.
Right.
Still love their music.
Professors, in what city, I'm going to be very specific about this, was Greenpeace founded? What city?
Ooh, London?
It wasn't
Reykjavik?
London. Was it Reykjavik?
Was it
Um,
European?
Amsterdam.
I will tell
Copenhagen.
you that it is a North American city.
Oh,
Oh,
Toronto,
That's
Seattle.
a good guess.
Quebec.
But
or was
no.
it coastal?
Closer to Seattle?
Oh,
Vancouver.
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 Astoria, Portland, Oregon.
Nope, it was
Vancouver?
Vancouver. Yep,
Okay.
Vancouver, BC is
Oh,
where
okay.
Greenpeace was founded. Close enough to be America.
tell my cousins that. Oh,
Tell the Canadians that. Don't-
yeah, I was gonna
No,
say.
we're
It's
close
gonna-
enough to be Canada,
Yeah.
according to them.
I just remember a number of years ago, Dave is our Canadian question ringer, Aaron, and you said something like Canada, America's hat or something like
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, there we go. He's got the flag ready to go.
Always.
What was the only Irwin Allen disaster movie that did not get an Academy Award nomination?
Poseidon Adventure?
You know, Poseidon Adventure
Two. The second one.
got a nomination,
The second one.
but
the-
the
was it-
sequel.
Yeah, which was what the Return to the Poseidon Adventure, or was it
Yeah.
the
Return.
wrong end of the boat Poseidon Adventure, or
The
Leslie
upside
Nielsen?
down Poseidon.
How could there be
The
a follow-up?
Towering Inferno. Was it the Towering Inferno?
No, it was the sequel to
It
Poseidon.
was the sequel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Beyond the
Beyond.
Poseidon Adventure.
Okay.
The Sunken Boat sequel.
Because
Leslie
Dan's
Nielsen
about to make
steers them
this,
wrong.
Dan's trying to make this very salient, logical, even point about how could there be a sequel to a movie about a boat sinking.
Well, you've narrowed down your cast of characters considerably.
Definitely
The
not.
Titanic 2.
Titanic 2. This time, it's Princess. Oh my gosh! How
This
about-
time Rose is toast, right?
all I can think of is the Seinfeld episode. So So that old lady, she's just a big fat liar, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, we all agree. That's our review of the movie. Anthony Maggio performed in 7 episodes of the 1960s version of the Addams Family. What was his role? His name was Anthony Maggio.
On the Addams Family. Okay, wasn't the thing.
Cousin It?
Yeah, it was the voice of Cousin It. Very well done.
Oh,
Yeah,
the gibberish.
It was totally a guess.
Talk
It was
about
great.
good hair, Beth. Ooh.
I know. What was the name of the hand? That wasn't Lurch.
Thing. That was Thing.
That was
Thing.
Thing.
That's it.
Thing.
That's it. Thanks.
Played by Ted Cassidy.
The Burroughs family is very careful to note that Felix Silla was the actor under the hair, but the voice was done by Anthony Maggio. That's kind of cool. Sort of an early R2D2 sort of thing, right?
I thought the remix with
Raul Julia.
yes, and
Angelica
Houston.
Houston.
Angelica Houston. Yeah, and
Christopher Lloyd.
Christina Ricci as Wednesday was truly a treasure in both of those movies.
Brand new streaming series now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tim Burton one was with the gentleman that's playing Gomez looks so much creepier now.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like the original cartoon. So
Well, the original cartoon looked quite creepy.
yeah,
Yes.
The TV show was a lot different from that.
yeah. John
Yeah.
Astin cleaned them up quite a bit. So
They're creepy and they're kooky,
That's right.
mysterious and spooky.
And Carolyn Jones in her lovely black and off black.
yeah,
Professors, in the classic Milton Bradley board game, can you name all 5 of the ships that you place in Battleship?
Oh,
Oh.
the carrier,
aircraft
the submarine,
carrier.
Where
the destroyer.
Mhm.
Battleship.
PT boat was a tiny one,
Mhm.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Cruiser.
Cruiser was the
Cruiser?
last one. You
Oh,
did it.
Cruiser,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only little side note here is that in the 2002 edition, the destroyer was formally renamed the patrol boat because it just seemed a little too aggressive for, straight up war games.
Or a game where you're blowing up each other's ships.
Yeah.
Too aggressive.
The person
Battle-
never played Risk, did they?
Yeah. Wait a minute. So that was deemed too aggressive, and yet it's called Battleship. What? We call it patty cake now? What? Doesn't make sense.
Gentle ship.
Hunk of steel.
Oh my gosh. The Washburn Crosby Company, which for the record was the precursor to our friend General Mills, was the first to use steel rollers in their grain processing. What Minneapolis-based baking company basically stole the idea to use in their own baking needs?
Nabisco?
Mm-mm.
Minneapolis Baking Company?
Mhm.
Ooh.
Was it Bisquick?
Are they known
It's a-
for bread?
Think a little more higher up. So it's not just like one product. They make a lot of products. Still
Oh.
around.
Did somebody say Nabisco?
Somebody
Yeah, I
said
did.
it's-
Okay, and then what am I thinking?
Duncan
You said-
Hines?
Mm-mm.
You said it's
That's
Minneapolis based?
Pillsbury?
Minneapolis based. It's Pillsbury. There we go.
Okay.
Pillsbury, yes.
Because the only thing I can think Minnesota food wise, like Spam, and that didn't sound right. So
Land O'Lakes. They make
Oh.
the
the butter.
it's a but it's like owned by the farmers. It's like a cooperative thing, in addition to being really great butter. So Minnesota, Land O'Lakes.
There we go.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Who was the first US president that could be heard if you listened to the radio?
Harding?
Ultimately, we will accept which US president was the first to have a face for radio.
Ooh.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Hoover.
No,
I think Harding.
it was Harding. Yep.
Okay.
Jim always jumps all over those presidents.
So what year would that have been, Jim?
Yeah.
About 21 or
Early
22.
20s. Yeah.
Like 100 years ago. Pretty wild, huh?
Yep.
If you tuned in last night, you could see the lighting on the White House for the unveiling of Dark Brandon, as people have nicknamed our current commander-in-chief, with the bright red lights on the White House. Man, that was some scary
Oh.
stuff. Oh
I
my
thought it-
gosh.
The White. I was watching the speech at Independence Hall. Is that what you're? No.
Right.
He
right.
has
So-
really adopted and co-opted the
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes. So the meme for people who support Uncle Joe because of Let's Go Brandon is Dark Brandon. Like he's
I
this political
see.
mastermind. And they put him into a bunch of memes this morning. It was pretty entertaining.
Well, I
guess.
would say the smart thing for him to do would be to own that, and
Yes.
that's how you tear it apart.
That's what he's been doing. He's made
Actually-
Let's Go Brandon a whole new.
And last night during the speech, so he's giving this speech, right? And there's some idiot with a bullhorn who's yelling at him. And he uses the point to make exactly the right point about democracy in action. Like, yeah, that guy has a right to yell at me with a bullhorn. That's what a free society is.
Nice.
Great. It was
Dark
so
Brandon
cool.
on the scene.
And not get
Exactly.
beat up like Capitol policemen.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, because this next question is about Tom Brady. I got a good Tom Brady story after this. Tom Brady, very, very famous NFL quarterback.
Cheater.
Never had a losing record to any existing team in the NFL, but there are 4 teams which he has a 500 record against. Let's just see if we can do 2 of 4.
New England?
New York Giants.
Nope.
Not New England?
Nope.
Oh,
Indianapolis.
Is the Rams one of them?
Nope.
The Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles.
Nope. Not Philly.
All right, I'm going to go on the limb. Detroit?
No, although
Oh.
that would be, I believe that would be, we probably don't
San
even
Francisco.
have
New
one.
Orleans.
Dallas, New Orleans, Atlanta.
New Orleans.
Oh,
New
that's
Orleans.
okay. Well, I
That's
never
one
would
of
have got
them.
that. Sorry, folks.
The other ones are Denver, Seattle, and Arizona, and I just didn't realize it was going to be that tough. It's okay though. It's okay.
He cheats.
The biz, if you're watching how the NFL is about to go into its next season, is that Tom Brady dropped off the face of the earth this
11
summer.
days.
And basically he showed up with a slightly different looking face at his most recent press conference. So the quote from the conference is, I don't know, I'm 45, I got a lot going on. And so Jacob Kagi in our Department of Biology added that bit to when students email him. Tom Brady,
no.
I don't know, I'm 45, I got a lot going on.
Wow.
Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely.
Did he get
hilarious.
plastic surgery or Botox or
That's a
That's
rumor.
the rumor.
Why
That's
do
the
we care?
rumor. Yep. He suddenly has a very, 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 very dimpled chin where he really didn't have that before. So
And he looks a little bit more gaunt too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's up.
maybe Giselle has a thing?
Hey, Beth has a new haircut, and that didn't make the news. So what the hell?
yeah, I know. No, that's true. That is so true.
I don't know. Made my
That's true.
news feed. Made
I
my
think when
evening.
it becomes cousin it length, it will make news.
I was getting there. I was getting there.
Oh my gosh. What does the Latin term "to stultus es" mean?
Aaron, help.
You are something. Let's see. You are.
Yeah.
Where are all
Stultus.
my
I'll give you
an expert
one
here, my
hint.
You're stupid.
You're stupid is correct. Guess what? It's the banner mission motto to our favorite, the Onion. That's what it says.
Oh.
You are stupid. Oh,
The
that's so
headlines,
wonderful.
the headlines they had after the Dobbs decision
Just
came
stop.
down. I
Just
mean,
stop.
Supreme Court votes to lock toddlers in hot cars. I mean,
I know I brought it up already to like everybody I know, but they had an image that was just a few weeks ago, post Mar-a-Lago, and it was Trump trying to flush the entire White House down the I could not contain myself. I showed it to everybody. I was very pleased with that level of humor. That is just my kind of humor. Just my
You know,
kind
they're
of-
going to have to start putting a documents filter on the plumbing. You know,
Oh
in the
my
White House.
gosh.
Well, no,
Oh
I
my
still remember,
gosh.
somebody questions his intelligence when, they're talking like how many fireplaces the White House has, and he decides to use the toilet instead.
I just
Really?
and Nixon
I'm
should have
wondering-
destroyed the tapes, you know.
I'm wondering what European toilet it was that we saw the pictures of the fragments that he'd torn up in the bottom of the toilet, and it
That's
was on
right.
some foreign trip.
Oh,
Right. Professors, every red-blooded Detroiter should know something about cars. Which car manufacturer once offered models named the Carol, the Familia, the Cosmo, and the Capella. Those are some interesting names there.
Couldn't
They
be
still-
Hudson or Studebaker or
Is it one of the
Some
companies that's
older-
still in business?
It actually is still in business, and
Oh.
for the record, it's not an American company. I
Is
was
it
just.
the-
I was
Fiat?
thinking Italian, Ferrari or Fiat.
Familia.
What was that, Dan?
Fiat.
No, but you're closer than not.
Ferrari?
Aaron, you looked as though you're gonna take a stab at it. Come on, take a chance.
I'm not a car woman. Something sexy. Something.
For a short time in the 80s, and boy, was that a weird time, Ford Motor actually owned 35% of this company. And a lot of
Mazda?
people were like, yeah, Mazda.
okay.
Mazda.
Okay.
The Mazda Familia. But that was a good guess from the other resident Italian on the panel for that, for sure. What U.S. city annually hosts Ebert Fest, a film festival named after Roger Ebert?
Chicago.
Chicago,
Should be
yeah.
Chicago.
It's not Chicago.
Oh.
Where was he born? Was he born in Chicago?
Ah.
He ended up was
Closer.
it the Sun Times or
He wrote for the Sun Times for many years.
Yeah. So
Well-
maybe he wasn't born in Chicago.
Evanston.
Is it in Illinois?
It is in Illinois. It's where he went to school.
Evanston.
Oh,
Champagne.
Champaign, yes.
Ah,
Champaign,
The
Illinois.
UIUC guy like that.
Yep. He was actually alive for the first 3 or 4 years, and we would go every year. And there was once, my buddy bragged about it for a long time. It's like we were in the men's restroom and Roger Ebert was in there using the restroom. It's like, this is as close to fame as I'm ever getting in my entire life. So I better brag about it, you know?
like, what do you do in that situation, though, Matt? Like, what's the
Oh,
proper
no,
etiquette?
I'm not shaking hands. I'm
yeah,
not,
yeah.
like,
No
I'm like,
fist
oh,
bump, no shaking.
Have often wondered about the norms and etiquette because
Beth,
it's men, they'll have some weird thing, right?
Beth,
that they'll do.
You know that's a dissertation waiting to happen.
Oh, big time, big time.
The closest I can compare it to is chess, when you're trying to select how to arrange yourselves at the urinals.
Oh.
And that being either the voice of God or Professor Jeffe Boats from the Department of Mathematics. has
How's it
joined us.
going? My video's not working. Is the audio okay?
We
Yes.
can hear you perfectly, Jeff.
We
And
hear
I'm-
you clearly.
We'll
Well,
never
checkmate
play
then.
chess without thinking about that again.
Absolutely. Professors, what was the first U.S. airline to ban smoking?
Pan Am,
Mm-mm.
American,
American, United.
United,
Continental.
United was the first one. That banned
Untidy
smoking.
Airlines, as my dad used to call it.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's gross.
Oh my gosh. Very, very good. Hey,
I can remember flying to Europe on Icelandic Airlines back in the early 70s, and the guy sitting next to me was smoking a cigar on the plane.
man.
That's kind of
Wow.
disgusting. Then they brought around snifters of cognac, and I was afraid the plane was going to explode because of the closeness to his cigar.
When Drew and I went to England in 1990, so I could meet his family, we could still smoke. There was still a smoking section on the plane.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that
Haven't been
there
able
should
to
be.
smoke on a plane since that fateful night over Macho Grande.
Oh God.
Hey, professors, according to medieval lore, where's Heather when you need her? What's the major difference between calling where you live a castle versus using the word palace?
The number of bathrooms.
That's a really good guess. I like that, actually.
was-
Towers?
Number of
That's not what I
windows.
have here, but it's
Castle and a palace.
Chapel?
A castle
Well,
will
a
have
palace is
defensive.
where royalty lives.
A castle will have defensive
A castle
Um,
doesn't have to
okay.
be.
capacities
Yeah.
for.
A
in case
castle's
it's
got like
attacked.
gates and things.
That's what
moats
we've
and
got
stuff.
here.
Defensible kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah, castle would be a defensive position. A palace is just a place that you hang out. So
Except that
that's-
they've mixed them up. Like Castle Howard in England is just a big house,
Okay.
sitting on a lawn.
Sure.
So they've kind of given up that distinction over time.
those
Professors-
protections wouldn't work against dragons. So
Oh, very good. A little Game of Thrones.
Depends on the size of the dragon. Yeah.
Very nice. Professors, we're down to our last question here. We've just had so
Oh.
much fun. We've got to wrap this up, I'm afraid, but it's a doozy of a bonus question for the Burroughs family. Thanks again, Frank and all. Who was Barbra Streisand's first choice to co-star with her in A Star Is Born?
Elvis Presley.
Yes, it
Elvis,
was.
which would have been fabulous.
It
It would have
probably
been
would have been.
so good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately, professors, this is so wild. We have such a great time. Got to pay attention to the timer. Don't want to make things too difficult for Brian and Michael in post. So the time has come for us to say goodbye. Sorry, Jeff, but you're going first.
Better late than never.
Dan.
Goodbye.
Dave.
See ya.
Beth.
Goodbye.
Jim.
Bye-bye.
And Erin.
Toodaloo.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy.
Ask the Professor is transcribed in, all of our homes, but usually it's in the Briggs Building in the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mio.